Kenyan YouTube political channel where we unpack Kenyan's biggest political headlines. Of course, my name is Jacob Nyende, and today we are looking into the real cost of sending Dr. William Samoei Ruto home in 2027. It is the hope of every Kenyan, a majority of Kenyans, that Dr. William Samoei Ruto will be sent home as soon as possible when we come to 2027, right? So what will it really cost the Kenyans to be able to unseat Dr. William Samoei Ruto? We all know and understand very well that Dr. William Samoei Ruto is not your ordinary politician. He is not your ordinary politician that you can just decide that today I'm going to send him home and you unseat him just like that without any plan. It requires a lot. Number one, it will need a united opposition for Dr. William Samoei Ruto to be sent home. This then means that all the opposition principles, starting with Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, Martha Karua, and Matiang'i, all of them need to unite completely. They also need to make sure that they are suppressing their self-interest for the will and for the interest of the Kenyans, because sending home Dr. William Samoei Ruto without a proper plan and a united opposition and a united vote, it will not be easy, my dear Kenyans. And therefore, it will call for all the opposition leaders to suppress their interest. I know all of them, Martha Karua, Rigathi Gachagua, Matiang'i, Kalonzo Musyoka, Wamalwa, all of these Kenyans, the opposition principles, might want to be given a chance to run for the presidency, to lead the opposition against William Ruto. But they need to do one proper thing before they decide who should run for the presidency. They need to go around Kenya the way Raila Amolo Odinga does every day. They need to go around Kenya to make inquiry on Kenyans, who Kenyans need to be the president and the vice from the opposition side. And once they are sure, once they have a list, they have consulted Kenyans, they have consulted Kenyans, now wamepata maoni ya Kenya, and then now they can go ahead and choose one. So we need a united opposition. Any split in the opposition will give William Ruto a straight ticket to reclaim his seat. And therefore, we require a united opposition. That is one. Number two, we need a united Kenyan. We need a united voter. The voting bloc for Kenyans need to unite all of them and say, this time enough is enough, and Dr. William Samoei Ruto has to go home. All right? Yes, they need to unite and say that he has to go home. And then after this unity, and now they need to register. We need to register massively. Massive registration for voters voting. All those who have attained the age of voting, the Gen Zs, and they are yet to register as voters. When the registration period begins, they need to register massively. Because when we have a united opposition and we have a united vote from Kenyans, and then we can be able now to unseat William Samoei Ruto. Because without proper planning, prior planning, then it won't be possible. So all those Kenyans who have their ambition of unseating William Ruto and changing the lives of Kenyans in the next election, then we must make sure that all those who have attained the age of voting, they must register massively. They must register massively. And by registering massively now, they will be able to unseat Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Because once we have the united opposition, we have a united voting bloc, all Kenyans united from all walks, from all the 47 counties. We unite, we register, and then we decide. And then number three, the point number three that we need to do also to be able to unseat Dr. William Ruto, we need to safeguard the votes. We know that there is controversy in the IBC. We saw the other day, Dr. William Ruto appointed the guy from Turkana, friend to Josephat Nanok. And of course, Josephat Nanok is working in the president's office. And therefore, many people are raising alarm and question if the general election is going to be fair and credible. But we got an assurance from Rigathi Gachagua's side that even if President William Ruto was to appoint one Murkomen or even Sudi or even Faruk Kibet as the chairman of the IBC, and then Kenyans are going to make sure that they safeguard their vote at the voting block, and especially at the polling station. So the Gen Zs must prepare enough together with the opposition leaders on how to safeguard the votes, especially in the polling stations. Because the constitution on election and announcement of result says that the final result is that one that is announced at the polling station. And therefore, the Gen Zs and all Kenyans must work together with the opposition to make sure that in every polling station, we have people who are safeguarding the votes for the opposition to be able to unseat Dr. William Ruto. Because in Kenya, it will not be surprising to see that votes have been stolen. Election rigging, there are so many ways that those in power prepare to rig elections. Like, for example, we heard that the Somalians are now entering Kenya and taking IDs, ready to vote in general election, because the process of issuing IDs was changed by William Ruto. Those restrictions, the vetting restrictions that were there are no longer there. So that any Somali can walk in Kenya, in northern part of the Kenya, and get an identity card and register as a voter to vote. So that's one way that they are preparing to vote also, to steal elections, I mean. And therefore, safeguarding election will be a critical aspect if Kenyans want to unseat Daktari William Ruto in 2027. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, what do you think must also be done apart from having a united opposition, having a united voters, voting bloc, that those are the Kenyans, and also having prepared well enough to safeguard the votes of Kenyans, those votes that are going to be casted. So apart from these three things, I don't know, what do you think that the opposition and the entire Kenyan should do to unseat President William Ruto? And of course, there are so many reasons why every Kenyan would want Dr. William Samoei Ruto to be one term. There are so many reasons, right? And just maybe one of those reasons is the skyrocketing cost of living. The cost of living in the country has gone very high. Number two, we have no jobs in the country, right? The job opportunities for the youth is no longer there. Corruption is on another level in this country. And the Kenyan resources are being stolen. People are being killed by the government. They're being harassed, killed. Some of the Kenyans, actually, their land is being taken away by the government. And these, among other reasons, are enough to say enough is enough, and we send Dr. William Samoei Ruto home in 2027. But it cannot be a walk in the park. If the opposition is not going to be united, if the Kenyans are not going to be united, and then it will not be easy to unseat this guy here. So we need all to cooperate together to make sure that we unseat Dr. William Ruto in 2027. All those who have hopes and who are determined to make sure that he is one term. And then this time round, we must forget about our ethnicity, our political affiliations. We must forget about who is who and have one common mission, one common vision, and one common goal. And the goal is to make William Ruto a one-term president. And that one is only possible if these three things are taken care of. Number one, a united opposition where the opposition principles are throwing away their selfish interest and then deciding to save this country from the hands of a dictatorial regime, right? So it will not be easy if Kenyans are not going to be prepared to do this, right? Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, if we need to unseat this guy here, that is only what is required of us. And with that, I beg to stop there, ladies and gentlemen. You're here to subscribe to Vox Politika. You can subscribe to this channel. In the comment sections, let me see what you think it will take Kenyans, the price that Kenyans will have to pay to be able to unseat Dr. William Samoei Ruto from the seat coming 2027, because it is not easy. If the opposition is going to go the way they are starting to go, everyone wants to be president, and then it's going to be hard for us to be able to unseat Dr. William Ruto, right? But if the opposition is going to unite, if Raila Amolo Odinga also is going to join the opposition and not to vie as a presidential candidate, but to support one of the Kenyans chosen presidential candidate in 2027, and then William Samoei Ruto will go home. Of course, we have seen signs and symptoms of Raila Amolo Odinga running away from William Ruto. But if Raila Amolo Odinga is going to dump William Ruto and then come back and run as a presidential candidate, he's going to spoil the votes for the Kenyans. All right. So we need a united opposition, a united Kenyan, and all is going to be well. Ladies and gentlemen, you're here, you're here to subscribe. Kindly take a second, subscribe to this channel, smash that notification bell, and hit the subscription button. By doing like that, you help me to reach a wider audience. And that is my mission on this channel. Thank you so much for being there. I beg to stop there, and thank you for watching.